everyone, and welcome to the first part of my island living let's play, and I'm so excited. But before we go and explore the beautiful new world of Sulani, I'd like to introduce myself really quickly if this is the first time that you stumbled on one of my videos. So I'm Madjem, but my real name is Manon. I'm French and I talk in English in my videos because it was the best way that I found to play The Sims while practicing and improving my English, which I've studied for the past 3 years in university, and that would explain the accent, the probable mistakes and mispronunciations that I would make. So if you have any advice to give me, please feel free to in the comments. I would be very grateful. And on my channel you will mainly find speed builds and let's plays of The Sims, as I've been playing this game for the past 19 years. I've played the very first game up to The Sims 4 today, and I don't plan to stop anytime soon. I also stream fairly regularly on Twitch, and if you go in the description you will find a link to my Twitch channel as well as to my Twitter and to my Discord channel, where I share some updates on my streams and videos, or even some sneak peek to houses I build and some pictures of my personal gameplay in The Sims, so make sure to follow me on there as well. You will also find in the description 2 links to 2 videos that I've shared a few days ago on the channel that are speed builds of houses that we'll see in this let's play. One being the main house we'll be living in, and if you're interested in seeing the building process of that house, make sure to check it out. The other one is an off-the-grid cabin, and I know that for now the off-the-grid trait is kind of glitched, but if you're interested to seeing this house as well, because we're going to come across this house occasionally throughout the let's play, make sure to check that one out too. But now that my introduction is done, let me introduce you to the Sims that we'll be playing with. So this is Marley Watson, and we'll mainly be focusing on her as she's all new to Sulani, and we will basically discover the island through her eyes. And Marley grew up in Newcrest, not far from San Myshuno, where she actually went to school, and as you know, San Myshuno is quite an active city, especially when it comes to politics. There are many protests on various subjects that take place over there, and one evening as Marley was leaving school, she came across a protest about the environment. So she went up to the people protesting and asked a few questions, which led her to do some research on the human impact on the environment. What she discovered just completely changed how she saw the world, and she decided to take action by first volunteering to clean up beaches, forests, parks, etc. As she grew up, Marley started thinking about what she could do with her life and started thinking about becoming a politician and spread awareness about the environment and what she could do as a politician to protect it. When she talked about her idea to her fathers, they were of course very supportive, but they advised her to maybe first try her hand on a more practical job related to the protection of the environment before sitting behind a desk and pumping out laws and policies and so on and so forth. So Marley looked up for what she could do and found a job opening for the upcoming summer as a conservationist in Sulani. She took the job, and as she was searching for a place to stay for the summer, she discovered that the locals of Sulani often welcomed foreigners and tourists in their homes to spread the local culture of the islands in exchange for the tourists to help with the local economy or with the protection of the environment. So Marley decided to take this chance to stay with some locals in Sulani and discover the local culture while she would be working as a conservationist, and soon received a response from Ohana, a local from Sulani, who was more than happy to welcome her in his home and his family. Once graduated from high school, Marley embarked on a plane for Salvadorada, where she took a boat for Sulani, and she finally arrived this morning. And Keoni, one of Atlu's son, was already there waiting for her, and he actually showed her around the island of Ohana town in Sulani. And Keoni told Marley that Atlu couldn't be here because he went to fish. As you can guess, Atlu is actually a fisherman, so rather than spending the day in the house waiting for Atlu to come home, Keoni thought that it would be more interesting for Marley to discover a little bit more the island. Even though she's probably going to have the entire summer to discover all about the islands. But for now, the 2 of them are in the bar, the local bar that you have in Sulani, or actually on the Ohana town. I think this is how you say the name of that town. Sorry if I mispronounce it, but yeah, they are at the bar. So just to introduce you a bit more to Marley, I gave her the new aspiration that came with an island living, which is the beach life aspiration. For now, all she wants to do is to get a suntan, earn a gold on a kava party, and eat a coconut. So I think the suntan we can do that today or tomorrow. The coconut, we can maybe do that today actually. Maybe Keoni will take her to, you know, this dispenser or something where you can get some beach towels and some plants as well. We can go there and buy a coconut for her to eat. As for her traits, she's neat, she's a foodie, she's outgoing, and she also has the home turf trait from her aspiration, and she's already in the conservationist career, and she's right now at the level 1. So deep in nature is where Marley longs to be, studying the wildlife for hours on end. She embeds herself in the environment, While there aren't any important findings to share yet, Marlee dreams of the day she will be able to do important research and bring change to the planet. So hopefully tomorrow she'll be going to Moapelam. I think this is the name of the island where there's the volcano, and I think this is where most of what happens with the conservationist career takes place. Right now, she just wants to spread conservation awareness to other Sims, so she will probably be talking to Keoni over here, who is one of Atlu's son. So Atlu, he's the father of the family, and Keoni, as he was showing Marlee around the place, he talked to her a little bit more about what happened with his family, because the family actually hasn't been welcoming any foreigners for the past couple years, simply because the mother of the family, Panisi, passed away. So what I'm going to do is actually show you the family tree. And as you can see, Panisi over here, Panisi Ohana Lea, passed away, and she was married to Atlu, who's the father of the family, and as you can see, he's also a fisherman. And right now he's working around the island, just trying to catch some fish to make some money for the family. And together they had 3 children. So of course you have Keoni over here, and there's also Tiulipe, who is Keoni's older sister, and Tiulipe, she got married to Henare, and together they had a son. His name is Ptolomeo, and they're living on a secluded island not far from the volcano because, as you can see, Tiulipe works as a lab technician in the scientist career. We're not going to be playing with the scientist career at all. I just wanted to keep things a bit more realistic in a way. So she works as a scientist, she studies the island, and all of the members of this family actually never left Sulani. They've all been very proud of living in Sulani, living in the island, and just taking their time here with this beautiful scenery, and they're just not thinking about leaving the island, basically. But Tiulipe, she moved out, and she's living on an off-the-ground cabin, which is actually the build that I talked about earlier. They're living together as a family now on this island, so we might go and pop into her house at times just to check out the build, maybe try out a little bit more the off-the-grid trait, maybe when it's going to be fixed up, because right now it's a little bit glitched, but we might go and see her at times. So then you have Keoni, as I said, and finally we have Marama. Marama, he's still a child for now. He has quite an age difference between his brother and sister, and there is a little bit of a story about Marama, but because we're going to discover pretty much everything through Marlee's eyes, for now, Keoni, he didn't think about bringing up the subject of his little brother. But Keoni, he loves the outdoors traits. He's also a child of the islands, which is one of the new traits that came with island living. These Sims experience a spiritual connection to islands of Sulani, honor the islands by partaking in their culture, summon powerful elements, and reap the rewards of their blessings or the consequences of their disfavor. And he's also very active and gregarious from his aspiration, which is to be a friend of the world. So he already have 3 friends. He's actually part of a club that I created called Best Friends. Basically, these are the 3 Sims that he's really, really good friends with. And he talked a little bit to Marlee about them. He would love for her to meet them and for them to meet her as well, because as you can guess, Keoni, from his aspiration, he's really outgoing, and he's just overall very happy that his father finally decided to welcome again some foreigners into their house, because it's their way of getting connected to the outside world of Sulani. And he's been asking a few questions to Marlee about how things are done in San Myshuno, how things work outside of Sulani, and he's just interested in that, but he's not really thinking about moving away from Sulani. He's just overall very happy to be living here. So yeah, these are his friends. He talked a little bit about them. Actually, Lori is over here, and Lori, she's not per se born in Sulani, but she came here once when she was a child, and she just basically never left. Her parents stay there, and she's not thinking about going back to where she comes from. She probably comes from Brindleton Bay or another world. Anyway, so she's from outside of Sulani, but she's right now a local here. She's been living here almost her entire life. As for Matthias, nobody really knows where he comes from. He talked a little bit about him to Marlee, and Kinu, he's actually Keoni's best friend. They grew up together on the island. They were together in school, so they've spent almost their entire life together. They grew up together, basically. So he would love for Marlee to meet them at some point, but he needs to talk to them about Marlee first, because it's quite a close friendship, friends group. They're very protective of one another. And also, as you may have seen, Keoni actually works in 2 part-time jobs. So in the morning, he works as a lifeguard, and in the evening, he works as a diver. And he took up those 2 part-time jobs to help his father pay the bills and pay for the house, because their house is quite big. It's probably going to be quite expensive with the bills. So yeah, they really, really need the money. And of course, Marlee is going to step in, which is why also the family thought about welcoming her into their house, but also because they just love sharing the culture of Sulani and getting to know a bit more people that are outside of their island. But let's have Marlee maybe spread a bit more some awareness to Keone about the environment. And oh, actually Lori just came and talked to them, so let's go and have Keone maybe talk to her. Let's go and brighten her day and introduce Marlee to Lori and vice versa. Let's have also Marlee introduce herself. Let's do a friendly introduction, and she can also maybe spread conservation awareness to Lori, even though I'm sure Lori knows a little bit about that since she's been living here for quite some time. She saw the trash on the beach and she's just very sad to see that this is happening. And Lori actually works as a barista, so she works in the local place here as a barista in the morning. Oh, she had one of those green hearts. I don't really know what that means. But yeah, Keone, he just brought her around the island. He showed her around the island and talked to her a little bit about the culture. He also showed her the place where you have the festivals that take place. I didn't see one yet. I'm actually really interested in seeing one, but I think you need to see some balloons, like fish balloons here and there. And that's how you know that there is a festival taking place at some point. So we'll have to keep an eye out on this because I'm really curious to see that. Also, as for the seasons, I decided to extend the seasons to 28 days instead of 7 days as I usually do because, as I said, Marlee is going to spend the summer here. We'll see later if she decides to stay longer than just during the summer. Maybe she will want to stay a little bit longer than this. We'll have to see. But because, as I said, I want to play in a bit more realistic way, she's just going to stay here for the summer, and I wanted to take the time to explore the island during the summer, so that's why I've extended the seasons to 28 days. So we have 4 weeks basically of summer with Marlee and the family. Also, I turned off in my settings the thunderstorms and the blizzards because these were happening quite often in my game and it was kind of annoying. And I think if you don't have the thunderstorms setting on in your game, I don't think you will get any monsoon. So because I would be interested in seeing one, I might change that setting at some point during the Let's Play just to experience a monsoon at some point. But yeah, I'm really glad that she actually got to know Lori right away. She already probably spread awareness about conservation already, and also with island living you can ask if mermaid, but I think you need to have a good relationship with them, and I don't think Marlee is aware right away that mermaids exist or that it's even just a legend. Keone probably didn't bring that up already. Oh, and he's actually feeling focused because of conservation knowledge from the conservationist career. It's important to know what is happening on our planet. Maybe this knowledge will stir Keone to pick up some trash on the beach or plant a tree. That's really cool. And apparently Marlee learned how to catch a fish, a koi fish, from Lori. That's really cool. And does Marlee? Yes, Marlee has also a new moodlet which is spreading awareness. Marlee hopes she was able to convey her passion about the environment. Yips! At the very least, it seems she was heard, knowledge is power and all that. It's really cool, at least Keone, he's listening to her. Let's go and brighten his day. Maybe she can discuss about her favorite recipes, maybe recipes that she's learned in San Myshuno, and he can probably talk to her about some local recipes, and we'll probably get to know some of those recipes. But yeah, so we are on the Ohana town island, and the family actually lives just right over here. This is their house, and as I said, I've made a speed build of it, but I will show you the house as soon as Keone and Marlee go back home. Though I see that Keone needs to use the bathroom, so let's go and use that. While maybe Marlee can go and get a drink. Actually, she's already on it, so order a drink. Who else do we have here? We have Pania, Osage, and Sione and Gata. Oh, this is Kinyu Neolani. So this is Keone's best friend, the guy who grew up with him on the island. So let's go and introduce ourselves to him. But I really like the fact that we see a lot of people who have what I suppose are local names. This is really cool. Oh, and this is Matthias. Oh, that's really cool. Maybe actually they came to welcome Marlee, probably because Keone talked to her about, or actually talk about her to them. So she could maybe get to know Matthias and do a heartfelt compliment. And also Kinu, I think this is how you would say his name. It's just like Keanu Reeves. His name is just like Keanu Reeves. By the way, these Sims, Lori, Matthias, and Kinu, are Sims that I've downloaded off the gallery, and I thought they were just perfect for this LP, so there you go. If I can find them again on the gallery, I will share a link in the description. But it will soon be time for Marlee. Oh, become best friends, of course. He's best friends with Kinu, actually, already. Or he should be. We're going to go back home pretty soon because it's almost 5 p.m. and probably Atlu is already back home and Keone is actually getting hungry, so yeah, let's go become best friends with Kinu. Stop talking to all those people. Did you get your drink, Marlee? Stop talking and drink. Yay! They just became good friends, or actually best friends. That's even better. Keone is so happy. Yay! Tell a gross joke to your best friend. While the two of them are talking, let's go and ask about day to Matthias. And probably Matthias wanted to welcome Marlee as well, because nobody really knows where Matthias came from. This is what Keone told her. And yeah, nobody really knows where he came from, but he's just a very nice and very cool guy to hang out with. So Marlee is probably really excited to get to know all of those new people. It's probably a lot to take though, because she just arrived this morning. And as you can see, she hasn't changed her style quite yet. I gave her some new clothes and some new outfits, but she's just arrived, so she dressed up the way she thought she could dress and be comfortable in this island. But I think it's time now for Keone and Marlee to go back home. Marlee and Keone just arrived at the house, and as I said, this is a house that I've built. So just to show you a little bit more inside how it is. So when you enter the house, you arrive on this deck area here, and then you have the entrance room here. You have a very nice living room. I've used a bunch of items, of course, from Island Living, and I have to say that these items are beautiful. Kitchen, dining area, and I see that Atlu has prepared some kava for welcoming Marlee here. Also, through the entrance area, you have this bathroom right here. You have a corridor right there, which leads you to Atlu's bedroom, the master bedroom with the master bathroom. You have here Marama's bedroom as well. And I think Marlee is already on getting into the water. Oh no, she's on the boat, though the boat doesn't really work because I've placed it with the move objects. And as you can see, Atlu has his own private little balcony here. And then when you go on the other side of the house, you have Keone's bedroom. You have a dog here. Her name is Coco. She's the dog of the family. You have the main bathroom area right there. And this here is a little shed that the family has added on to the house not that long ago. And this is where Marlee is going to spend the entire summer in. So I would like for her to come here and discover her room. Where is Atlu, by the way? Atlu is talking to Coco. So this is Atlu Ohana. He's the father of the family. I gave her the angling ace aspiration because he's a fisherman, as you can see through his career. He works really early in the morning. He actually used to work the night shift, but he started working the morning shift when he became a little bit older because it was easier for him. He tended to wake up really early in the morning and needed to sleep a bit more at night, so the morning shift was a little bit better for him. As for his traits, he's really family oriented, he's a dog lover, he's cheerful, and he also has the collector trait from his aspiration. And then I saw that Marama over here, he's the third child of the family. He has the rambunctious scamp aspiration, and he has the child of the ocean trait. And as I said, there is kind of a story to Marama, but I'm going to leave Atlu tell that story to Marlee as soon as she goes and introduce herself to him. Actually, she could do that before she goes into the shed. Let's go here and talk to Atlu. Let's go, get to know would be nice. Maybe she can also discuss local fishing spots. I guess that would be nice since he's a fisherman, he must know of some. And while this is going on, I would like for Keone maybe to prepare something to eat. So let's go prepare some grilled fruit. Marama, I guess Marama would have some homework to do, so let's go into homework. He still has to go to school though. Oh, he's still here with his dad. That's really cool. Maybe Marlee can go and talk a little bit to Marama as well, I guess. But she's definitely very excited to finally be here. It's a huge change of scenery from San Myshuno, of course. Let's go discuss interest, and Atlu is going to tell her, well, your room is right over there at the back, and of course she would learn how to catch a perch through Atlu. Of course he would know that. So let's go in there, let's go and discover our room. Oh, this is Antoine, this is one of Marlee's father, and he's really happy for her to have joined this new job. I'm sure he is. By the way, Marlee's fathers are very successful in their careers. One of them is a very successful doctor, the other one is a very well-known and accomplished chef, so they were not that surprised that Marlee was as ambitious as she is since, well, the two of them were also very ambitious. So this is where Marlee is going to spend the entire summer, and this is very small, but it's kind of cozy, you know, at least, you know, she has her own bathroom. And what I'm gonna do actually is just lock door for everyone but Marlee. This way she's going to be the only one who has access to this very, very nice little shed. But she also brought with her her laptop computer, which she will probably need to use with this career, because at some points you actually need to make some research on conservation. And as you may have seen, she also took with her her yoga mat, because Marlee does some yoga, and I think it would be nice for her to come here and do some yoga on the deck. That would be so cool. Or maybe even here on this little deck over here, which would be very, very, very nice. And she can also use this towel here to sunbathe tomorrow. But how is the food coming along? Let's have Marlee go and sit down here. Let's have Atlu come and sit down here. Oh, he's helping Marama with his homework. That's really cool. Maybe Marama could go on the table here. Let's go and sit here while you're doing your homework. It would be a bit more comfortable. But let's have Atlu talk a little bit more to Marlee, get to know her, get to know, and he's going to talk to her about her family, about how the generations just expanded onto the house. And did you make the food, Keone? Yes, the food is right here. Can I place it? No, I can't place it. Well, I'm going to place it on the ground here. I guess it's okay. Let's go grab a serving, and let's have you grab a serving, and let's have Atlu as well grab a serving. And so Atlu is also going to talk about Marama, because Marama, he's definitely a very special kid. So, as you can see, Marama has a different hair color, and he's also a little bit more fair-skinned than the rest of his family, and that's because Marama was adopted. As I said, Atlu, he used to work the evening shift as a fisherman, and one evening as he came back home very late at night, what he used to do actually was to go and get some kava. He went on the deck and relaxed on the lounge chair here, and he used to look far in the distance to look at this beautiful scenery that he's living in, basically. And on this beach over there, he saw that evening, or actually that night, a dark little spot. Oh, we need to lecture Coco. Lecture for eating human food. Yeah, that's not great. And he saw this little black spot on the ground, and he went to check because it was very unusual. And that was actually a baby. He saw a baby on the beach, so he brought the baby back with him, and when he showed the baby to Panisi, they first thought that maybe they would put him up for adoption and leave him in an orphanage. But Panisi said, you know what, we have the room, we have the money, and we have the love for this little baby, so instead of putting him into the system, let's just keep him with us and adopt him. And this is how Marama entered the family. But Marama has kind of a special need. He needs a lot of water, and this is something that Atlu is kind of worried about. And when he brought Marama to the doctors, nobody really knew why Marama needed so much water. He's drinking a lot of water all the time, he spends a lot of time in the water, and this is something that stresses Atlu out, simply because he's worried that one day Marama is going to drown. So he likes to keep an eye on him, which is why today when he went fishing, he actually dropped Marama off to Tulipe's house to have her and Henare keep an eye on him, because he's just really worried that one day Marama is going to drown. He's just not used to a child spending so much time in the water and also goes so deep in the water as well, so he just wants to keep an eye on Marama, and he figures that at some point, maybe Keone is going to go to work as well as Atlu, and Marlee is going to be the only one at the house, so he counts on her to keep an eye on Marama. So yeah, that's pretty much the family. I'm actually really excited to be here, so let's have Marlee talk maybe a little bit more, spread conservation awareness, share her passion for the environment to Atlu, joke about politician, maybe because she actually wants to become one day, while Keone can actually go put that away. Oh, you need to go use the bathrooms, poor little boy. Let's go use the bathrooms, and then you can go ahead and take a shower. But Atlu, he's just very happy to finally be welcoming a young person again in their house. As I said, they've been doing this for a very long time. They used to do this when Panisi was still with them, but Panisi, when she passed away, the entire island actually, everything slowed down, because Panisi, she was a very important member of the community. She was a musician, she took part a lot in the festivals that take place, as I said, on this town island. So when she passed away, nobody really took in any tourists or foreigners into their homes, simply because they needed to grieve. But now that it's been a couple years, Atlu feels ready to move on, and he's just overall very excited to welcome Marlee in their house. And Atlu, he has a very strong feeling of community. He's very traditional in a way as well. So he believes in signs from the gods. And oh, actually, as I'm talking about the spirits and the gods, we have the island spirits trait in here. Oh, and there is a spirit right here in Marlee's room. And apparently Coco is obsessed by something. So I don't think Marlee can clearly see the spirits. She can maybe feel something, but Atlu for sure, he can see the spirits. And he can maybe see this one. Let's go and commune with spirits and see what happens. Oh, Marama is already off to bed. I mean, you know, he's going to be going to school tomorrow, so he needs to rest up a bit. Oh, that's really cool. Did he just absorb the spirit? Oh wow, what's going on? Island energy from communing with island spirits. Buoyed, is this how you say this word? Buoyed by spiritual vigor, there is no rest for the righteous. Oh, he doesn't need to sleep anymore. That's really cool. Oh, actually, let's go and fill the bowl. How do you feel, Keone? Actually, you work tomorrow morning. Do you work tomorrow morning? No, he doesn't work tomorrow morning, but he works tomorrow evening. So what we can do, because Atlu, he also wants for Keone to keep an eye on Marlee, because, you know, she's all new on the island. She doesn't know the place. Can we offer friendship to Coco? She doesn't know the island, so Atlu would like for Keone to show her around. So as soon as Marlee gets her jobs... actually, Marlee, go to sleep. You need to work tomorrow. As soon as Marlee gets her job's task for tomorrow, Atlu asked Keone to go and show Marlee around, maybe also introduce her to Tiolipe, because we can go and spend some time also in Tiolipe's house. And I guess Keone can go and introduce Marlee to Tiolipe, and then Marlee can just go to Tiolipe's house on her own. But what I'm gonna do is just maybe spend the night with Atlu. I didn't think that he would be wide awake the entire evening. You know what? Maybe he can go and fish. Oh yes, I can put the boat in his inventory. Let's go and put the boat in his inventory. And can you maybe swim here? Oh, and he's feeling focused from what Marlee talked to him about the conservation on the island. This is definitely something that Atlu is very happy with and very proud of. Yay! Because he loves his island and he's really happy to see that someone is also as passionate as he is about that island. Oh, you know what? Let's go and set the trap. Maybe we can catch some fish and some things with this fishing trap here.
Torka.
But can we place that in the world? So that he can maybe go and boat around. Let's go sail around on outrigger canoe. Oh, he still has his spirit in him. So yeah, Atlu really believes in the island spirits. He doesn't have the child of the islands trait, but he's definitely one. He just doesn't have the access that Keone has with the island. Keone, he's a little bit, in a way, special because both his parents were from the island. And he has this communion with the island that Atlu has, but in a different way. Like, he cannot ask for the elements to come around, but he can definitely see and feel the spirits of his ancestors in the house. I think you can also fish from here. Go fishing. Not available while boat is moving. Okay, can you stop moving the boat? Maybe we can go and fish. Yeah, let's go fishing on the boat. Look at that. You can also hear some noises. I don't know if you can hear the noises from that. Oh, this is so cool. Fishing on the boat. That's really, really cool. At night. So does he work tomorrow? Yes, he does. So for his aspiration, right now he needs to catch 5 fish. But I've actually started playing with this aspiration on my own, and the fish at 3 different locations doesn't work. So because I have the UI cheats mod, I'm going to have him fish in 3 different places in Sulani. And I will just select this one through the cheat, so this way he can move on with his aspiration and we can earn some points as well. But what I'm gonna do, guys, is actually end this part here. So I hope you enjoyed this part, that you're excited for what's to come. Oh, he already caught a fish. Is that a clownfish? A neon angelfish. That's really cool. Yay! But yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come with this series tomorrow, or actually in the next part. Why is Marley awake? Oh, she cannot leave her computer alone. Oh, she needs to use the bathroom. So let's go use sleep. Stop playing on your computer. Go to sleep. You're going to have a hard day of work tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you're excited for what's to come with this series. Next time, we'll go and work with Marley in the conservationist career, and I'm really excited for this. So yeah, I'm going to see you tomorrow. No, I'm going to see you in the next part. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, everyone.